guys, MasterCoX here. And wait a minute, a Dragon Ball discussion and I'm not at home next to the screen there? What's going on? I'm still in Ireland after attending a KumaCon, which was a fantastic time as always. Now, normally I would have waited until I got home to properly discuss this topic, but since it's such a really hot button topic, I just could not wait. Before we actually get into the discussion, I am going to say that there are some minor spoilers here because there is a character being talked about that is not in the current run of Super. So the reason why it's minor is because we really don't know anything about this character, but I just thought I'd throw a warning here nonetheless. Now, at the end of Dragon Ball Super episode 75, we got two previews. The first one was, of course, a preview for episode 76. The second one, though, was for the upcoming Universe Survival arc. In terms of the marketing angle, this makes sense. There's 2 weeks to go until this arc begins, so it's natural to start generating the hype train, get it all going. We're actually starting to look forward to this, and probably the most likely reason that they actually have some animation to show off. Now, in this short preview, we got a lot of interesting shots, including the reintroduction of Kaba and Frost. Oh well, so much for my theory that Hit killed him. As well as some shots of the Omni King and the Daishinkan, which is probably going to be in the new intro that will replace Chosetsu Dynamic. As well as various gods of destruction and their respective attendants. However, there was a 1 second shot, barely a second, probably less than that, of a character that we've never seen before, but the transformation we have many times. The arc preview was big enough, but that shot alone set the internet ablaze. At first, she looks demure, like she doesn't want to cause too much trouble or she doesn't give off that vibe of being particularly strong. However, looks can be very deceiving, and you really shouldn't judge them on looks, especially in Dragon Ball. Within an instant, she powers up and transforms into what is essentially a female version of BROLY. A legendary Super Saiyan in its entirety, with the greenish yellow hair, the muscles, the pupilless eyes, everything. Even the earrings! They got everything in here. It's just a female character instead of the Super Saiyan that we are familiar with. This confirms one of three things. First, that Saiyans do exist in other universes aside from the Universe 6 and 7 pairing. Secondly, that the idea of a legendary Super Saiyan is possible. Not BROLY himself though, he is still a movie villain, but just the concept of a legendary Super Saiyan does exist in this timeline. And thirdly, women can go Super Saiyan. There! I proved it. I feel so good right now. I just didn't expect it like this though. And neither did you, I can imagine. So I could just end the video here and be done with it. I reported this to you guys, I've shown some screenshots and pretty much done what everyone else has done. Only several hours earlier. Damn you, time zones! This revelation got me thinking though. This is just, basically, another ploy from Toei to generate hype for Super. This was a marketing strategy. This was cooked up in a committee meeting, I swear. We have seen this many times in Super's history. We saw it with Beerus and Frieza for their respective arcs, although those ones went down like lead balloons because we literally just seen them in movies. They were nothing new. Goku Black being a thing, the return of future Trunks and Vegito, and now a nod to BROLY, one of the franchise's most marketable characters. Now, Toei are being quite shrewd here. They're not just haphazardly inserting a carbon copy of BROLY from a different universe or anything. That would be foolish, as it would spark controversy and be inherently cheap and lazy. BROLY fans would rejoice, but it wouldn't make a lick of sense. It would be such an obvious marketing ploy that Toei would write themselves into a corner here that they would probably not be able to get out of. There would be a ton of pushback from audiences. It would also cause headaches for the writers because then they would have to write in the movie's timelines into our timeline, then explain why BROLY never showed up in Universe 7. Ugh, it'd be way more trouble than it's worth. So instead, let's kill two birds with one stone here. Female Super Saiyans and some BROLY fan service. Job done. That idea is quite cunning and seems pretty inevitable. Toei's strategy here is an exact replica of what they did with future Trunks and Vegito's introductions. It sparked so much hype for the series, and even though the latter's introduction was somewhat short-lived and rather squandered, the former's introduction and subsequent use was pretty cool. Shame they had to cobble together some underweight justifications for his sudden increase in power towards the end of the arc. Let's go back to the Universe Survival Arc preview and look at this character more closely. What we get here, first and foremost, is that the power of the legendary Super Saiyan is controllable. It looks like she's able to activate this form just like a regular transformation, unlike BROLY's dramatic transformations in the movies. As we know from Saiyan power-ups of old, as the user becomes more adept at the transformation, the time it takes to reach that form is exponentially reduced. Just like we see here. So she's done this before and regained control perhaps? Time will tell. In any case, the introduction of a female Broly-like Legendary Super Saiyan is a guaranteed shot in the arm for Super, for both Japan's audiences and most importantly, the Western markets. Broly is huge here, and to introduce a character that looks very much like him, and it being a female Saiyan, is gonna generate hubbub aplenty from now until when Super's dub gets to this episode, so essentially for years to come. Toei has chosen to use one of its biggest afterburners for this upcoming arc, and judging from the reaction after just one day, it's worked. It has to work. This is make or break for Super. If this arc falls flat, then I don't know about the future for Super. It will probably head towards its end by the end of this year. Let's just hope that unlike Toei's other previews, this actually lives up to the hype. For me, I'm just happy that female Super Saiyans are a thing now. Rock on! So what do you guys think? Are you keen to see more of this female Super Saiyan? Are you glad that we're actually seeing a nod to Broly in the series? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next one, be sure to like and subscribe. And until then, catch you later.